1985 Pontiac Trans Am.
Hey kid, I'm your uncle. I work at Deka Battery. Did I ever tell you about the time I saw a queer in Minersville?
You would not believe these words if 1 million firebirds lit up the room with a group of bros. Cause I think the frat house does throw keggers just because it's 85 and we all want some love.
Yeah, 1985 Trans Am, the official car of D Student Daddy. He doesn't know phylum from genus, but he knows how to bang, and bang he does. And now he has a kid and still thinks he can play Call of Duty 4 anytime he wants. An 85 Trans Am is a car for driving around with a neck tattoo, because a neck tattoo says I'm gonna be a born-again Christian in 32 years from now when this downward spiral I'm on bottoms out. 85 Trans, and not quite a Corvette, not quite a Camaro, not quite a sports car, not quite a muscle car, an eternal in-betweener. This is a whip for another hopeless, angry daydreamer. The kind of guy who imagines this car as a fighter, like an F-22 Raptor, or an A-Wing. When he drives it, he imagines he's flying into combat, shooting down evil regional managers and double-talking landlords. And he is victorious, winning the day, Travis Bickle style. And he returns to home base for bro hugs and blowjobs. The 85 Trans Am ran with a predictable Chevy 350 V8, which drank through an unpredictable fuel injection system that used a ColecoVision as an ECU. Junk. Total junk. Even the owner says so. He converted it to whatever carburetor he could slap onto here. Good enough. Drive on. I understand GM's conviction. They wanted to bury the previous generation of the Trans Am because that represented dumbass, dazed and confused jocks. You know, meatheads. They wanted to say this was the future. I mean, look, you had and they tried everything, including these little flip dials on the top of the roof, right? It's not even a computer. It's like that tic-tac-toe game that's on every playground. There, that's your trip computer. This little Rolodex thing. Yeah, move that around. This is a car for the man who describes sex and escalating brutality. Is it fun? Hell yeah. This is way before the LS. But they did the best with what they could, and man, it's slippery, and it's loud. Don't screw up. Anything that happens while driving one of these GM wedge cars, it's your own fault. Nothing's going to save you, and your ego is your worst enemy. It doesn't corner, and it's very tail happy. Which is weird because in 85, the third generation Firebird was also the first Firebird to feature a 4-cylinder engine if you want it. Again, it's GM getting with the times. That's the interesting thing about General Motors. Sometimes they're pioneers like with the Grand National, and in other times they're playing catch up. You know what? At the exact same time, this car and the Grand National existed at the same time. It was the first Firebird to have factory fuel injection and a 4-speed automatic and a 5-speed manual transmission. Yet you could have got a Mustang or a Camaro in the 80s, but the Firebird is a more affordable solution if flat-out speed is what you wanted. It solved the problem of how to get cheap thrills without breaking the bank, right? Since your alimony payments were due, and you still haven't paid Tootsie Malone for that Blumpkin in the Hardee's bathroom on the corner of 5th and Chestnut, a Pontiac Firebird is as American as hating your neighbor and questioning the business practices of people more successful than you. Because the system must be broken if Harold Slavinsky can comfortably afford more than one car. The Trans Am for 85 had a drag coefficient measured at 0.32. However, with the standard Aero wheels, it could get as low as 2.9, which made this General Motors' most aerodynamically efficient car for its time. And the 85 model also featured an overhead console from the Camaro because GM knew exactly the demographic they were searching for with this one. It's for the uncle who wants to be with it, who wants to think his Hall & Oates mustache is going to ride eternal. The Firebird Trans Am has a strange history. It used to be a hot product for GM back when the pony car was a priority, back when suddenly they found themselves in second place behind the Mustang in terms of popularity and style. And you can say it's all Ford's fault, since General Motors felt they needed a new Chevy product, something, anything, to go after the juggernaut, which was the Mustang. Naturally, they spat out the Camaro, which became General Motors' shiny new chosen one to go one-on-one with the Mustang now and forever. But they needed a new Pontiac product that could stand against the upcoming Mercury Cougar. See, that's something we really forget about Pontiac. Pontiac is supposed to be the rich man Chevy. It's supposed to be this in-between thing between a Chevy and the Cadillac. Or maybe Buick. Yeah, Chevys were sporty, but Pontiacs were supposed to be sporty and sophisticated. So here's your little roller thing on the roof. Oh, you're so sophisticated. Not that Ford was doing anything different. The Mercury Cougar was just a hoard-up Mustang, and the Mercury Comet was just a hoard-up Falcon. So, General Motors came up with the Firebird, a car that could occupy the middle ground between the Mustang and the Camaro, without necessarily looking to rip off either. What we got was a car that looked like a Riviera had sex with a Corvette, which isn't a bad thing because the Firebird endured. The only problem is that it's no longer a car that gives off a sense of sophisticated fun. Nowadays, an 85 Trans Am is a car that gives off the feeling of living paycheck to paycheck. These cars sunk in value really quick, and even cramming Mr. Feeney into one as a voice didn't help the brand. The Firebird is the struggle personified. The Firebird calls to mind a waitress taking extra shift at the airport diner to pay for her degree in massage therapy. She sleeps with ex-boyfriends because she doesn't want to add to her number. Her favorite song is Mrs. New Booty, and her favorite movie has Drew Barrymore in it somewhere. There's nothing wrong with that. She's a great person, and she deserves happiness. And a Firebird is happiness, but she deserves better than what the Firebird has become. I say it's the Corvette's fault. The Firebird is the car that the GM dealer would shovel you onto when you realize you're too poor for a Corvette. But it's become the ultimate used car. I still like it though, because I'm a slut for that flashing red light that went back and forth. I even had one on my neon.
I want to let myself believe that I'm not D-grade daddy. I dream I fly in a wing and believe that I'm a up quick like I'm chasing Bordeaux, like it's track day, bro.